Hey, good morning, guys. This is week 17, day 3. God protects the ark. So, before any of this takes place, Israelites are fighting the Philistines, and they go into battle, and it's a big battle. And they're fighting. But they hadn't been worshiping God very well before this, and disrespecting God and different things, and God didn't go with them. And normally when the Israelites fight, and they got God on their side, they kick some pretty good stuff, and they're winning. They usually win. This time, they lost. In fact, they lost so bad. Let's see. They lost about 4,000 men in that battle. So the Israelites said, we got to do something. And then they, you know what? We've been neglecting God. We left God back in Israel, back in Jerusalem. So they're like, let's go get the ark. Hey, and they grabbed the ark, and they took it with them. And went back into battle. They carried the ark into the camp. And the Israelites all seen the ark in there, and they just started shouting, yeah, we got God here, yeah. And they thought that since the ark was there, that God was with them. They didn't realize that they were supposed to actually serve God. But they started shouting. Well, the Philistines heard all the shouting. And they start sneaking around and trying to investigate what's going on. And they find out the ark's there. The Philistines panic. It's like, oh no, they got their God with them. We're in trouble. And they tell them, like, you guys better fight really hard, because if you don't, they are going here. You don't fight really hard, they're gonna turn us into slaves. So the Philistines went out really hard, and they fought hard, and they beat Israel, and they beat them bad. And then they killed 2 of Eli's sons, both of Eli's sons. Remember Samuel said that's going to happen? Well, God told Samuel it's going to happen. And they captured the ark. And the messenger leaves the battle, runs back home, and he gets back there to Jerusalem, and he's like, hey. And they're like, oh, what's happening? And Eli, the high priest, he's like, he had some respect. He cared about the ark. And he's like, what happened to the ark? And they're like, man, Israel's been defeated. Your sons are dead. And the Philistines got the ark. And Eli fainted out of his chair and fell down and actually killed him because he landed wrong. And he died that day too. Now Israel, they were in panic mode. The Philistines, they were celebrating. And they're like, now what do? We got the God of Israel, what do we do? So they put him in the temple with their god, Dagon, the little fake god. And they're like, alright, we'll celebrate tomorrow. Because it had been a long day. And they come back in the morning, you know what they found? Dagon was laying on the ground in reference to God. So they go, alright, let's set him back up. So they set him up, and they're getting stuff ready. And they come back the next day. And he's down on the ground again. But this time his hands and his head had broken off. And yep, their God broke. Fell apart. And then a plague started hitting the city. People started getting sick. The Philistines like, what are we going to do? So the Philistines like, I know. They talked about it. Well, we're going to get rid of them. So they haul them around. That actually gets into the other part of it. But they haul them around. They're like, let's get them out of away from our God. We'll put them in the city of Gath. They get to the city of Gath, and people in Gath start getting sick, and the plague hits them. Oh, they're all right. Well, so they sent the ark to Ekron. And the people of Ekron saw it coming. They're like, whoa, 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 no, 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 no. And they stood up and stopped them, wouldn't let the ark in their city. They're like, you ain't bringing that here to kill us. No, but the ark ended up being in the Philistine country for 7 months, where they were trying to figure out what to do. Finally, someone's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a brand new cart. They put the ark on the cart. Then they got 2 mother cows that had just had babies. Yeah. And they took the babies away from them. And then they tied the cows to the cart. And they're like, all right, if we let go of the cows and they go to their baby, then we know all this is just a coincidence and the God of Israel's fake. He's not that strong. But if he goes to Israel, then we know, hey, the God of Israel's for real. But either way, he's out of our hands. Yeah, they let the cows go, and the cows started walking to Israel. They left their calves behind, their home behind, and they went to Israel. And when they come walking into Israel, let's see, they end up at the house of Abinadab. And Abinadab kept watch over the ark for 20 years. And there's a lot of stuff that happens between now and then. Now, that was longer, but okay. Hey, that's the thing though. One thing, the ark represents God. One thing, we should respect God. You know what else represents God? Our Bible. And that's God's Word. Okay? And we should show respect to God's Word. We should show respect when we're in God's house too, at the church. Hey, you also know though, God will protect His Word. People throughout history have tried to destroy the Bible, but God has always protected it. So, which is interesting because it's the only book of its age that can be accurately reproduced. All the others have problems. So, which is a cool one too. That God really knows how to do it. So, you guys remember to show respect to God's Word, God's house, and to God Himself, His name, all sorts of things. Okay? And I will see you tomorrow. Ooh, Israel's going to get a king. So, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.